Hello guys, I am here not with a review today because I'm lazy, but I have something even better. Now in case you guys don't know, and if you've been following my channel, you should know that Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain just came out a few days ago, and so far, having a blast with it. Amazing game. Definitely will pick this game up. That's not the point of this video, however. Uh, just because it's going to take me a long time to beat this game, I know it already, I decided I would from my experience in the game so far, I'd put together a kind of a little list of tips and tricks that you guys could use if you have bought the game to your advantage. And you might have already seen these tips and tricks somewhere, you might have not. But I just wanted to point out a few that I found extremely useful. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into my 10 tips and tricks for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. One thing you really want to make sure you do in this game is recon a lot. Like, getting up on hills, scouting out an entire base, marking as many enemies as possible, because you might end up not marking them all, and then you get alerted, or you have to go into reflex mode, and it's just not fun when that happens, when you have that one guard you didn't mark, and then he's just right next to you, and you're just like, oh my gosh. It has happened to me so many times when playing this game so far. Next, I want to talk about how you always want to destroy any type of device or electronic that you see that has a blue light on it. Most, if not all the time, these are of some importance to the enemy. And while, yes, the anti-air radar, you might need to use explosives of some sort to destroy it, with something like the comms equipment or the electricity powering the lights and everything else, you can just push the button on electricity and then get your stuff done while that's out and someone goes to check on it. Or with the comms equipment, there's like a single like little station for that, which you can just destroy with a gun and it can be undetectable to anyone in the entire base. It's very useful you take these out because they can help so much. Like taking out comms will make it so they can't report to HQ. Taking out and get reinforcements, and taking out electricity if you're doing it at night is very useful. It's kind of obvious as to see why. And anti-air radar, of course, is helpful for just getting pickup points for helicopters close to where you are, so that you don't have to run a long ways to get out onto a new helicopter. Or if you come back later, you have a closer place to go or to land when you go back to that base. Next tip is do as many side ops as possible. They can be very useful to you and help acquire like new resources and get new places for getting helicopter pickup points and whatnot, and they're just very useful for the most part, all the time really. The only time, and this is actually under my assumption before, is that after you did a mission, you couldn't do any more side ups. However, that's not true. As long as you exit the hot zone, you can keep doing side ups and explore as much as you want. So do as many side ups as possible, and just keep the list down because they start to pile up after a while, I've noticed. Now, in case you didn't notice at the very beginning of the game, when you first go to rescue Kaz, minor spoiler maybe, you can't interrogate the Russians there, nor when you first get into Africa can you interrogate the people there either. This is because you don't have the interpreter. You can't understand their language. The first thing you need to do is get the interpreter whenever you first get into these locations. Africa, you have to do a mission first, and then you get a side op to get an interpreter, and the side op is generally very easy, so it takes next to no effort. So make sure you do that, and it just makes your life a lot easier, and then you can interrogate people and get information on where stuff is or where other enemies are. Very useful stuff. Next up, you really want to upgrade all of your basic equipment the most, and try to make it so you can upgrade those as fast as possible, like your intelligence scope, or because with the second level of it, you can actually determine like skills of soldiers and see if you really want them on your base or not. Another thing you can upgrade is your Fulton device to carry more than just people, like machinery of some sort, or vehicles. And then you also really want to upgrade your tranquilizer gun. I've found it to be very useful to do that because I use the tranquilizer gun a lot. Also, one thing you want to upgrade is your different base facilities. Mostly your R&D and main base place on your mother base first, because with R&D you can start developing stuff much easier and all that good junk. And then with upgrading main base development, you can find more resources in the field and or while mining. It's very useful to upgrade these places first. Next, you really want to get lots of resources. These are things like you find around in different buildings, stuff like fuel, biological material, metals, all that stuff. You really want to find tons of it. So you want to search every nook and cranny because this stuff is used for making weapons, your tools, different facilities on the base, you name it. It's for lots of stuff. You really want to get that. And ways you can find it really easily are just searching everywhere. If it's not possible for you to search some places, that's okay. I know the pain of that, not being able to search everywhere. But make sure you search as much as possible because it's really useful to have these resources. Also, you can find diamonds, which give you GMP, which is the game's currency. It's very useful to search for resources. That's what I'm getting at. Another thing is to get the buddies as quick as possible. The first buddy you start out with is the horse, which is pretty useful for the most part. But then if you look around Afghanistan, I think it's completely by random you find it too. You find a little wolf pup, I think it is, and you send it back to base, and it eventually becomes D-Dog, and it's been awesome so far for me. The other one you can get is Quiet. She's like a sniper, and you actually have to find her first and beat her in like a boss fight type thing, and then eventually after like a few more missions she can start going with you out in the field. Then you want to also get the walker gear, which you don't get until after the first mission you do in Africa. So just keep that in mind. But get all the buddies as soon as possible because they're all very useful with their own unique skills. Careful about how you approach every mission you do because depending on what you do, the guards start to change the way they are patrolling and the equipment they wear. For example, if you do headshots too much, some guards will start wearing helmets, and it'll make it significantly more difficult for you to pull off a headshot. Or if you go into bases at night too often, eventually guards will start getting night vision goggles to find you out. What a remedy to this is either just don't stop going at like night, or stop pulling off headshots, or stop doing whatever it is you do most often. Or once you get the combat unit developed, you can actually send them out on missions to go destroy this equipment so that you can just keep going on your merry way the same way you do all your stuff. It's very useful to do that because I like to just go a certain way, and I don't like being just stopped by all this unique equipment from my usual way of doing stuff. Another thing I think you should get done fairly quickly is the sneaking suit developed, which you can do by upgrading your R&D faster. And yeah, it's the same suit you wore in Ground Zeroes, and if you played Ground Zeroes a bit like I did, I was kind of thinking to myself, it's the best suit right now, but I wore it all the time. But it's very helpful. That's why you wear it all the time. It muffles your footsteps. It doesn't matter what time of day you wear it. And with later upgrades, it regenerates health faster when you wear it, and it also you also take less damage while you're wearing it. And if you want to substitute it with something, wear the Solid Snake suit, which you can also later develop, and it makes you look like the original version of Solid Snake. It's okay. But if you want to, and I've done it a few times too, you can wear just regular old camouflage on your missions, which I don't mind doing because it's pretty fun to do that. Finally, and I cannot stress this enough, do not forget to plan an exit, because I found myself at times there's times and there's one mission I was in a base rescuing a prisoner, and once I got him, I had no idea what the best plan to exit the base would be. This is why you plan your exit strategies, not whether it be just running like hell to get to your chopper or to sneak out and take the long way around so that you don't get caught by guards. Either way, you want to make sure that you plan an exit. It's really useful, and I found myself doing it more and more as I start doing bad at missions where I have to escape from an area. Guys, I just want to thank you so much again for watching my videos. I'm sorry I did not have a review up today. I will make sure I start getting a few more reviews out. I might be a little bit late on some, I might start getting my reviews of Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Straight Outta Compton out, because I have to get those out. I haven't done them yet, and it might be a little bit late, but I just really wanted to get them out for you guys. And besides that, I just want to thank you so much for watching again. If you liked the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to my channel. And buy this game, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. It's an amazing game. No matter what you think of Konami, or if you want to boycott the game because then you're not giving the money to Konami, do it for Hideo Kojima's sake, because he's the one responsible for the game, and he's made an experience that one of the best experiences I've had in a game in a long time. And so far, this is my favorite game of the year. It's amazing. Yeah, just get it, do it. And if you have already gotten Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, please kind of post your thoughts in the comments below. I really like to see that. It's fun to see other people's opinions of stuff. And anyway, guys, I just want to thank you again for watching, and as always, do not forget, the pain never goes away.